All right, hey YouTube, welcome to The Bench. Today I'm gonna run you through how to dress for cold weather. I notice a lot when I'm in the field or when I'm out on set and it's like a cold day, a lot of people just simply don't know how to dress for the cold. And the key to that is dressing in layers. Why layers? Because the warmth that you feel on your body actually comes from the space in between the layers in your set of clothing. So the air that gets trapped between the layers is actually what insulates you. Air is actually a great insulator. So let's go ahead and run through what I usually wear. So I'll spare you on seeing me in my underwear, but basically I just get these basic stretchy underwear that you can get at Walmart. These are made by Athletic Works. They're 90% polyester and 10% spandex. They're nice and stretchy. You can wear them for days on end and they won't really stink. And they breathe, most important of all. So if you're doing a lot of hiking, things like that, you get warm when you hike. So you need something that can breathe. So that's the first layer, which I have on. Then I have my base layer, which is what I'm wearing right now. And this consists of a merino wool top from Kuyu, as well as merino wool bottoms from Kuyu. And they have different densities that you can buy. So some work really well for like extreme cold environments, and some work really well like these, kind of all weather. And the nice thing about these is there's a zipper on the edge here, and you can take these on and off without actually having to take your boots off. So you can pull your pants down, unzip these, and they just come right off. So if you're in the field and you're trying to get to a spot or something like that for sunset, you get hot, you can quickly just rip these off and keep moving. So that's a really nice feature of these. Another thing I want to cover is why a base layer is important. So a base layer should typically be merino wool or some kind of polyester or spandex. And the reason you want to wear that is, one, it adds a base layer of insulation when it's really cold out, and two, it allows moisture to wick away from your body. So as you're hiking and you get sweaty, that moisture goes into the clothing and this stuff dries really fast. And actually your body heat will dry it. It's just a really nice way to mitigate heat from your body as you're warming up and cooling down in the field. One thing I hear a lot is cotton kills, and that can be very true. These synthetic layers are really nice because they're pulling the moisture away from your body and eventually evaporating it off, whereas cotton just absorbs. And if you're hiking, you get sweaty, you're cold, you lay down, you sit down at your spot, you can get cold really fast because your clothing is wet. You won't really have that issue with this kind of stuff. So base layer is important. Tuck the top into the bottom. You want a nice closed off layer here. For socks, I'm using Kuyu socks. I'll put links to all this stuff below, but I really like these socks. They're made out of wool. You can wear these for multiple days on end. Wool is naturally antimicrobial, so it doesn't stink. And I can attest to that. I've worn these socks for 5, 6, 7 days at a time in the field, and yeah, they don't really stink. I highly suggest them. These in particular are very nice because they're extra padded in spots. I don't know if you can really see it, but along the front here, there's an extra layer of padding, and then same thing on the sides of your toes and the tops of your toes, and all the pressure points all have an extra layer of padding. And especially the heel too. The heel's pretty important, so you don't get a lot of like the brushing on your boots. So highly suggest these. So the next thing you're gonna want above your base layers is a mid layer. And the best pants that I've ever found is, again, made by the company called Kuyu. They make outdoor clothing for mostly hunters, sheep hunters that go into the backcountry for multiple days at a time. So their stuff is really well made with like some of the best fabrics in the world. And yeah, just a really good bang for your buck. So these are called the Kuyu Attack Pants. And the reason I like these is they're a 4-way stretch. They stretch both directions. Really comfortable, super breathable, but also are like really good at insulating when it's cold out. And one of the things I really like is they have these zips on the side where you can zip them, and it's just this mesh in here that allows the pants to breathe. So as you're hiking and you get hot, you can unzip both sides, oops, unzip both sides here and dump heat. And then also there's these big cargo pockets that also unzip and are mesh on the inside and allow you to dump heat as well. So yeah, wearing these on top of your base layer, highly suggested, highly suggest these pants. I wear them all the time, even just around town. They're just so comfortable and practical. Can't suggest them enough. So I'm gonna throw these on. So one thing that's neat about these pants as well is that if you get the underlayer from Kuyu as well as these pants, the pit zip, or I don't know what they really call it, the leg zip, also lines up with the zips that are on the underwear. So if I'm hiking and I have both layers on, I can simply unzip these and they line up. So you get nice airflow into your pants, which can be important. Next up is a nice mid-layer. And I got this one a few years ago from a company called Melanzana. I think that's how you say it. These guys hand make this stuff in Colorado. And this fabric, I don't know what it's technically called, but if you look at the fabric, it's almost kind of see-through in a sense. And it's just made out of little squares and it's ultra breathable. And the reason I like it is because it's comfy, it's stretchy, it's ultra breathable, but it also adds a nice layer when you're hiking. So I like to wear this when I'm hiking up, as well as when I get there, but let me throw it on real quick. All right, so I got it on now. And the reason I like this is because it's really breathable. It's really nice for when you're hiking up. I just wear this and usually my base layer because when you're hiking, you're getting hot and you don't want to be wearing all your clothes at that point. So this allows everything to breathe, all the perspiration goes off, and if I get cold when I'm hiking, I can put the hood up. And that adds a nice little extra layer of warmth to it. And then it's got this cinch and this high neckline here. So you can actually, as you're hiking, be kind of cinched down like this. And if it's windy or something, it helps a lot. So a lot of people will wear, you know, the base, the mid layer. You can even bring another mid layer, which I usually do if it's like going to be a really cold event. This is again made by Kuyu. It's just a layer of what they call 3D effects. It's pretty thin, lightweight, a little stretchy, not super stretchy, but it's nice to just kind of throw on over top if it gets a little chilly while you're hiking. But also once you get to your spot and you're sitting still, it's just another layer of warmth, which can really help. All right, so now we're gonna move on to the warm layers, the down layers. I suggest I usually use 2 different kinds of down layers. Me and Abe call it double downing. And this is one, and this is from a company, I forget the name of this company, but I bought this in Spain, and it's just a regular micro puff. But the really cool thing about it is, I suggest when you get a micro puff to get one that zips into its own pocket. So when you put it in your pack, it's nice and secure, and it's not just all over the place. It makes it really easy to pack. So basically, you can just unzip it. And so this is a down layer, and it's what we call micro down layer. It's not a very thick down. It doesn't have a lot of loft, but it adds a good base layer, like base down layer when it's going to be really cold out, or even when it's like, you know, spring, fall conditions. I'll bring this as like my main down layer if I know it's not going to be too cold. A good thing to know is like why down? Why do you want down? So down offers you the best weight to warmth ratio out of any fabric, basically. And the reason for that is the same reason I mentioned earlier, that it's not the fabric that holds in the heat, it's the loft, it's the air in between all of the down that's within this that holds in the heat. And if you're gonna be in a cold environment, you need a down jacket. They are just a game changer. So I'll toss this on. And if you get a down layer, I highly suggest that you get one with a hood. Being able to zip up like that and get your ears out of the cold when it's like really cold out is really useful. Now, the next layer, something that a lot of people don't know even exists, is down pants. And these are again made by KUIU. And again, they zip into their own pocket, so it's really nice and easy to pack. And these are the same thing as I'm wearing basically. But they're down pants. So when you're wearing your down pants and your down top, it kind of feels like you're in a sleeping bag. It's really comfy and nice. And again, KUIU is really clever. They put a zip on the side the whole way up. So if you have your boots on and you're sitting on the side of a mountain and you want to get warm, all you got to do is unzip this all the way up, throw it over your leg, zip it back down. You don't have to take your boots off. That's like a pretty big deal. So I'll throw these suckers on. All right, so now as you can see, I've got my base down on and my base down pants on, and I'm already really toasty. It's not that cold out right now where I'm at, but if you were in very cold conditions, I highly suggest getting an even bigger, nicer down jacket. This one here is made by Black Diamond, much thicker than the one I'm wearing. But when it's really cold and you're on top of a ridge top and it's windy, this is really nice to just throw on over top. All right, so I'm real nice and toasty now. On top of this, it's also important to bring a beanie, obviously. And then I like to bring a buff neck gaiter. You just throw this on over top and it sits around your neck, keeps your neck nice and warm. When it's cold and windy out, you can bring it up over your face. Highly suggest getting one of these. Now, to top it all off, down is really good to keep you warm in most conditions, but unfortunately when it's windy out and when it's raining out, down can not be as effective. If you don't have a treated down for water, down can actually absorb that water, lose its loft, and it can become a life-threatening situation if you're not prepared. The down that I have in this is actually a synthetic down, and it's treated and can get wet and not be affected, but it still makes sense to bring a rain/wind outer layer, and I'll show you what I have. So these are made by KUIU again. The reason I have a lot of their stuff is I used to shoot for them, used to film for them, so I got a lot of their gear, but any rain outer layer will work. Again, theirs are really nice because they zip on the side, so I can throw these on when we're on the trail very quickly and easily and keep moving without taking my boots off. These are also really nice because they're stretchy. I've never had rain gear before that it's like super stretchy. So as you're like hiking up, and you need a lot of like movement in your legs and your upper body, this stuff isn't going to restrict you. So it's super, super nice in that sense. And then on top of that, I have the rain jacket top, and same kind of thing. So, you can throw this on over top, and if you get one of these top layers, make sure that it's probably a size bigger than you need, because once you have all this stuff on, it needs to be a little bit bigger to accommodate the room. So with all that stuff on, I have like 6 layers on. But you can sit on the side of a mountain in the wind, in the cold, in the rain, and be protected. And that's really important. So, and it's not only for mountain, just knowing this is really useful if you're going on any kind of shoot when it's going to be cold out. Knowing how to layer, knowing why and when to add and subtract, super useful. I guess the last thing would be boots. And I highly suggest just getting a nice pair of boots, waterproof boots. They're worth their weight in gold. The ones that I have are just made by Vask, ultra dry. I like these because they're kind of already semi-broke in, and they don't give me any issues with my feet. I've had several pairs of these, and I just love them. But everyone has their favorite hiking boots. There's no right or wrong answer. Just find what works for you. Okay, well, I think that's it. I hope you learned something. It's really important to layer in cold weather rather than just having one big, heavy jacket that I see a lot of people wearing usually. Layer, because you can always add and subtract depending how warm you get, depending on the activity that you're doing, and how cold you get, etc. So, yeah, I hope you found that useful. And thanks for following my YouTube channel. If there's anything else you'd like to know or learn about outfitting yourself to go outside, just let me know. And yeah, thanks for watching.